A wizard of Earthsea keeps returning to the image of the shadow. In a literal way, where it's happening in the plot, there's a shadowy thing, and actually in the language itself, you will see the term shadow. The word shadow appears a lot, and you'll see other terms if you look for them about shadiness, about darkness, about all that obscurity. It is coming all the shadows happening all the time. As I said before, Le Guin is very influenced by Carl Jung. A lot of the important work on this was done decades ago by the scholar Charlotte Spivak, who wrote a book on Le Guin's use of Jung. And for the purposes of reading this book, I want to talk a little bit about Carl Jung's psychological theory of the shadow, what he means by shadow. Shadow is a loaded term for Jungians and for people who talk to Jungians at parties. Even if Le Guin wasn't reading Jung himself yet in 1967 and 68, clearly she had inhaled some of these ideas. Jung calls the shadow everything that an individual pushes out of their personality, that they refuse, that they reject, the things about themselves they refuse to acknowledge. Maybe for good reasons, maybe for bad reasons. The things that they cannot accept are part of their personalities, get cast out of the personality and become that person's shadow. Jung talks about the various ways encountering with things that remind you of your shadow of one's shadow freak you out. The sense here is that the shadow is part of you. It is connected to you. It's not going to, it won't go away. And we also know from folklore the idea of somebody losing their shadow makes them weird or spooky. Yes, Peter Pan. Peter Pan got no shadow, or his shadow is very loosely connected to him, and he is never going to mature and grow. What do we know about Peter Pan? He is never going to mature or grow. Get is. Get a Peter Pan. This is a young adult book, but this is about him moving through the phases of adulthood, and he and his shadow have business together. Rejecting it, rejecting his shadow is not a viable option in Le Guin or Jung's worlds. It's also the case that, remember, one of the things that makes Ged a good protagonist is he's a long way from perfect. He is messing up. He is messing up big time. All those things that he said, all those your shadow, all those things. And when you hear somebody say, "Oh, that happened," that wasn't me. Well, who was it? Jung's answer is, it's your shadow. For Jung and for Le Guin, emotional maturity begins when you start to accept that your shadow is part of you. That was you, it wasn't anybody else.